Gabe
What
already
up? What
put up
up
his bronze.
again? Real Fans Podcast, repping BX all day. I'm wearing my Yankees shirt. That's JoJo. He's wearing his Yankees shirt. That's Julian. He has what's that around your neck? What are you, Harry Potter? What is that?
Harry Potter, bro.
Huh?
I got
What
the
is that?
scarf. So last night, Barcelona came to town. I got to see them for the first time in person. I've watched this team since I was like 5 years old. I finally got to see all these players in person, like guys I've literally grown up on, like Sergio Busquets and Gerard Piqué and like all these other guys. So they played Inter Miami. I worked the game. I got this dope ass scarf. This thing is fucking gas, bro. Like
that shit is tough.
I like it.
Inter Miami on one side, Barca on the other.
It was a friendly match, right? This is a summer friendly.
Yeah, friendly. Yeah, for preseason warm-ups for Barca. And then you got this side right here, Dry Pink Stadium.
I don't hate the name of that stadium. Oh my god, I hate it so much.
Yeah,
it goes with the team colors. What can you say?
Yeah. I'm sure
Auto
Auto Nation, as soon as they saw the team color, because Auto Nation's in Fort Lauderdale, like the headquarters and stuff. So, because my girlfriend works for them, but yeah,
How was the event overall?
It was an awesome experience. This fan base was kind of split, but you also saw a lot of people like Inter Miami and Barca fans, like wearing like maybe Inter Miami shirt, Barca hat, vice versa.
That's a both worlds.
There was some. So it was just like a celebration of everything, and to me, like this scarf is so sick because it's like my two favorite teams. Like obviously Inter Miami, and then I got Barcelona, and have them on one scarf was awesome. And all the players came out. Even Lewandowski, which I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's like one of the most prolific strikers in our generation. And
I did want to ask if did the like starters play, or is it mostly backups and reserves? Or like a mix?
Yeah. The starters played. The only one that didn't play was Lewandowski, who just signed with the team like a couple days ago.
Oh.
And like I said, he's been the top 3 best goal scorer in our generation. It's been him, Messi, and Ronaldo. So that's why I wasn't sure if you guys knew who he was. But he played for Bayern Munich for a long time. But yeah, so everybody was out there, and then also even their backups are big names, and like so we got to see all of them, and it was awesome. Packed house. I tried to get some autographs, I couldn't, but I did meet some players. I met Alonzo Mourning. He was at the game. I was going to take a picture, but this dude was talking to him forever. So we walked away. But then when I walked away, my buddy was able to get a picture with him too. I was like, "Damn,
man!"
You just standing there awkwardly looking at this.
Yeah, because the guy was literally talking to him for 30 minutes, and we didn't want to bother him anymore because the guy was like, "All right, I got to go to the suites." He's like, "I got to go to the suites," and he's just and it's like this little Asian man was like talking to him for fucking ever. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. This is where they were the first stop on their U.S. tour. A bunch of teams from Europe, the big name teams in Europe, are coming over for their U.S. preseason tour, like the Classico.
I didn't know that was a thing. So they do that every year to prep for their season. They do a little U.S. tour.
I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, they did this year because of COVID and everything. But this year they did it. Like they're doing the El Clasico in Vegas. I know Orlando, Chelsea versus Arsenal are playing, and then also Arsenal's going to play Orlando City. The Barca's going to Dallas as well to play Juventus, and then they're going to play New York Red Bulls in New York.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so it was pretty cool to like finally see them in person, and I got to do it for free because I work at the stadium and stuff. So
I was saying some of those tickets are going like $500, whatever, $600
for the Classico in Vegas. Yeah, but for this one, they were pushing 200, I think, for some of the tickets. I for resale, obviously for resale, like at retail, they were like 100.
Yeah, and they also did a pre-sale as well. I got like an email about that I signed up for.
Yeah,
I didn't end up going, but that was a good opportunity.
Yeah, I could have reserved you tickets too.
Yeah,
but you
I do have to ask, what was the final score?
Oh, bro, it was bad.
Yeah, that's
it was bad.
Why bring it up. Now we had to ask.
It was bad.
Hey man,
6-0.
He just wanted to show off his scarf.
No, it was honestly just a celebration. It was 6-0. But here's the thing, though. Like Inter Miami right now this month has been going like it's been an extremely busy schedule, and players are gassed. So like, and then they threw this in here, so it was really tired. That on top of there, we're not the best of team. We're not like the top upper echelon of MLS. We're like fighting for playoff spot right now. We're like 2 points out. So we're not like the best that can like go up. Granted, my biggest thing was like, obviously you're not going to win, but just don't get embarrassed. But then they end up getting embarrassed.
You could have got
Come on, Messi.
But it's not, but people are going to be like, oh, this is MLS trash. Like, no, I mean, it's just the team's not that great right now.
I mean,
like,
that, and you're playing against some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, I mean, their backups are getting paid $15-20 million a year. Like, I mean, like, what are you going to do? Like, even the best player in MLS doesn't even get paid that much.
Let's talk real football. I'm tired of talking this soccer talk. Let's talk real football because the NFL news never stops. We're about 50 days away, less than 50 days away from preseason NFL news. The biggest story we had coming out this week was, if you can pull it up, Julian.
Yeah.
I think the Deshaun Watson news came out that the Cleveland Browns are preparing for possibly an 8-game suspension off rip. So, obviously, biggest deal of the summer, and they're already waiting for possibly the Browns 8-game suspension off the rip. Julian, overall, is this kind of what you expected, or is this excessive, or what do you think is going to happen?
I did not see that.
So. All right, so they're bracing for it, and then it linked to this article here, which I'm going to briefly go over just a second. Like, so they're anticipating 8 games out of the 17-game season. There also apparently some chatter about adding Cam Newton to the team for the time being, which would be interesting.
Okay.
They already have Jacoby Brissett on the team, but I think they're looking to get somebody else, and Cam Newton is on that list. Basically, from what I'm seeing, a lot of people are kind of upset from this because compared to what he did and compared to what other people got, it doesn't really make sense.
Well, here's the thing:
like,
he just got
people are saying that he got too little compared to like what other people got. But then there's also like somebody brought up like Tyreek Hill like assaulted his pregnant girlfriend and broke his kid's arm or some shit like that, and he got nothing for it. And then like the Roethlisberger, how Roethlisberger didn't get charged or anything like that, but yeah, he got 4 games or something like that. versus what Deshaun Watson could potentially get. It's like, wow, how is he only getting that little?
I mean, the Deshaun situation, right? Most of the things have been settled, right? And most of them have been just allegations, right?
Yeah, that's what we know, yeah. And then more came out like past couple months.
Yeah. So I mean, to me in general, I think like one of these things is like, they'll they put an 8-game suspension. Usually they'll take it to the players union, they'll appeal it, and it usually gets dropped down to like half. So he might miss some games, but he's not going to miss the entire season. I feel like a little slap. This is like don't bring shame to the NFL kind of thing.
Don't bring shame.
Whatever.
Don't bring shame. They don't need any more shame.
I mean, I also feel like it's for like public appeal as well, right? Because you do have, it's like a 50-50 split, right? Like, don't punish a man if he's not proven guilty. Yeah. But then it's like, if you have these allegations, there has to be some part of that that's true of what's going on. So people want to see a punishment. So I kind of feel like they did it for public appeal as well. Just to show that the commissioner, I guess, is doing his part, right? Because if he did play a full season and he had 0 punishment, a huge fan base would be against that.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people like they look at it and it's like, man, like these players and athletes and celebrities in general, not even just athletes, but like they get away with murder, bro. OJ literally got away with murder. Like, it's like at the end of the day, it's like talent trumps over everything, and it's like people will try to figure out a way to get them to keep on doing what they do. I mean, another 4 or 5 games, like what dude hasn't played already as it is. Yeah, I mean,
I was like, when was the last time this guy's even played?
Let me pull up the stats while you guys
2021 season. No,
wow.
2020 season. The 2020 season.
You think he still got it or what? Like, I mean, it's going to take a while to get back to game time speed.
I mean, he's still young, so I don't know exactly how old Deshaun Watson is. I believe he might be 24.
It's pretty young.
But yeah, he's 26. So yeah, I mean, he's in the prime of his career right now.
But yeah,
So
the last time he played
this
was
is where you want to be
2020.
playing. But
The last game he played was against. Let me go all the way to the bottom. He didn't play 2020. 2019.
No, he did play 2020. That was the year that Houston actually started playing bad. Like they went downhill because 2019 they made the playoffs and they went on that crazy game with the.
Yeah,
he skipped the last season, which is 2021. That's all he missed. So
all right. So aside from that, right? Aside from the 8 games, let's say he goes to the Players Union, he gets to knock down 4 games. Do you guys feel like that's reasonable, or because he hasn't really been proven guilty of anything, he doesn't deserve any type of punishment? How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, innocent to proven guilty, but it's just the vast amount, the numbers. I mean, the numbers statistically is like maybe 1, maybe 2. But talking about overall punishment, I mean, like I said, this is like nothing. Like he misses 4 more games, whatever. He already took a year off. It's a great PR move to me. Like it doesn't make me more of a fan. Like, oh yes, I get to see him. Like I don't care. I honestly don't care about the guy. If he would have came to the Dolphins, I would have never watched. I would stop watching any more Dolphins games as long as he played. So he's gonna go. He has a job. He's gonna go work. He has one of the biggest contracts ever signed over the summer. So is it sufficient? It's just a thing. I mean, it's like whatever. It's like he's gonna play. He's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Gabe because I mean, look at it like what 2-3 years down the road, like you're just going to kind of forget about. Look at the countless allegations we've came across, just even in like our lifetime of all these players getting something. You just kind of forget about it. Like how many people don't know that Ray Lewis killed the man? Like I mean, like or the Kobe Bryant scandal, like. Long time ago, like a lot of kids grow up not even knowing that, you know what I mean? Or, I don't know, there's countless Michael Vick, like there's countless others and eventually just goes away. Yeah. I don't know what was going on. I don't remember the Ray Lewis one, but I think everybody was like, yeah, he killed that guy.
What?
Yeah, he was in a club. I think it was a club in Atlanta. There was a stabbing and he had blood on his suit and he threw away the suit. And it was a weird story.
I was too young for that. I didn't know too much about it. Because that was a long ass time ago.
But yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't know what else to say about Deshaun. Other than
is it whatever?
He's gonna get paid.
We'll see what Cam Newton can do. Sling that rock, man.
Hey, the boys back then. If they sign him, we get to see another chance.
That guy will never die. Like I'm sorry, Cam Newton.
Get another chance. You would have thought.
And then he'll talk about how he never got a fair chance, even after he loses this chance.
Here's what's gonna happen, right? Right. Well, if Deshaun's out, let's say I don't know if he gets it down to 4 games, Cam's gonna have 2 big games out of the 4, right? And then he's gonna have 2 terrible games to even it out. So they're gonna be 2-2 before he gets back, and he's gonna feel like he's in a position to remain a starter because of those 2 wins he got. And then we're gonna have the same controversy that's been going on the last 2 seasons because we don't know which Cam you're gonna get for that season. That's how I feel.
The weird setup. They're gonna set up Deshaun Watson to be the savior. If they play terribly, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, please! I'll take anybody. I'll take somebody with 22 allegations. Please, somebody."
Bring back Michael Vick. Like,
oh my God. Anyways, I don't want to talk about Deshaun Watson. I just want to bring because he's the biggest star. Obviously, got huge paid. But we can move on to other news. Free agency is still going on. Obviously, a lot of signings in the offseason, but there's still some free agents still available. Julian, I don't know if you want to talk about some of the biggest names that I've seen so far. I mean, obviously we have Odell Beckham.
Champion. I can bring it up Beckham here. So I'm gonna say, like, who do you think out of like the biggest surprise right now? And I'll pull up the list right here. So yeah, these are the people still available: is Odell Beckham, Dwayne Brown, Trey Flowers, J.C. Treader, Will Fuller, Eric Fisher, Julio Jones, Anthony Barr, Sheldon Ripson, I cannot sue. Yeah, and then it just kind of goes Dante Hightower, and then just kind of To me, the biggest one is J.C. Treader. There's a lot of people that need centers out there, and I'm honestly kind of shocked that he is not has not been snagged up. He's actually the president of the Players Union,
Wow.
So I don't know if that's that plays a factor. But yeah, he's actually been playing really well. He's been dealing with some ankle injuries, but he's a high quality center, and I know he deserves to be on a roster somewhere. I know all you guys are going to say Odell, but to me, Odell, like, he's not just he's not just going to go anywhere, and two, he injured his ACL again.
Yep.
And he's lost his step. He just has. He's getting old. He's 29 right now.
Yeah.
So you're looking into bring a number. He's going to be a number 2 receiver, which I think he should be. So, but the thing is, he's going to demand to go to a contender. So
for sure,
depends how that works.
I think at this point,
the Rams going to have money for him.
I know he wants another one, and he knows he's injury prone. And I personally feel like he's already gotten his money. So if where his mentality is in that, if he wants to win, he's gonna have to settle. I know he's a free agent, and he's not gonna get a max after his injury. He's not going
unless he just wants to get one more big payday since he already got the chip. Even though,
honestly, it could go either way. It depends what he wants to do. If he wants to go to a contender, then he's probably not gonna get that max.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see him going is who they just signed, Sammy Watkins, but I could also see them Green Bay going after him.
Maybe, possibly.
Then again, Green Bay never signs anybody for large amounts of money, though. That's the one thing. Green Bay never signs anybody, never trades for anybody.
Wasn't it a rumor last season before he went to LA that he could have somehow ended up in Green Bay?
I don't remember.
That time?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Who's your biggest, or you want to talk about Odell for a second?
No, I don't want to talk about Odell. I think Julio Jones is the most surprising. I mean, he had tons of injuries last year. Yeah, I think he's the most surprising to be a free agent, being that he's still big. Obviously, this is not Julio Jones. This is not prime Julio Jones. We're post injury Julio Jones. He couldn't get on the field in Tennessee. So, I think he will be able to sign. I don't know if he's going to be signing for a max, long-term max deal, but I still think he can still play. Like, I think still he has some value for a team. Maybe he's not as a primary, but if he's like your third, fourth best receiver, he can still play. So, Julio Jones.
I don't think he's gonna give you the big numbers, but he's gonna give you some consistency on any team he goes to. That's been his story throughout his whole NFL career.
Yeah, I think he's just been plagued with injuries the past couple seasons. Like, he's been barely even the season before last, like, he was barely practicing. He was just kind of just playing game days. I don't know, man. Like you said, like, wide receiver 3 or 4, like, honestly, the Titans, like, absolutely lost on this deal. Like, and I saw that coming a mile away. Like, the Titans, like, it was such a waste to trade for him in his final year, and knowing his age, and like, he's a big guy too, so like that kind of wears on a man, like, playing for that long. So like I said, wide receiver 3, 4, special pet, like, he's a great guy that can go up there and still catch the ball, win jump ball 1-on-1s for sure. So we'll see who ends up getting. I don't think any of these guys are really going to get picked up till training camp starts, and I think we're going to kind of play a wait and see game of like what happens in training camp, who gets injured, who realizes they don't have depth, who needs to get more depth. Like, shit happens in training camp. People get cut. We'll figure it out. But I don't see any of these guys getting picked up before training camp. I think they're going to wait and see what happens, because almost all these guys are older and pushing 30 or older. So,
and coming off injuries and stuff. So,
yeah. So I think we're going to see what happens in training camp, and then we could, like, reassess and see, like, all right, like, I don't see Odell getting signed before training camp.
Somebody's gonna want him. He's gonna have to get in summer shape. Speaking of training camp, they wear certain uniforms. That's a bad transition. That was terrible.
That was a terrible transition. They wear certain uniforms. The quarterbacks were red.
No, here we go. Reset. Jojo, have you heard the news about the new uniforms that are coming out? The Carolina Panthers. Have you seen the new uniforms? Have you heard about them? Have you seen them? You said no.
Not.
All right.
I have not.
Julio's about to pull it up.
I'm ready to see them.
They just announced
you can't hype them up, but they're not fired, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean they just announced it, so we're just getting initial impressions of the brand new uniforms. Obviously, they wear the teal that I was wearing last week, that beautiful teal. Do they have a white jersey? I don't think they have a white. They might have white pants, but they don't have a
Panthers
white jersey. Yeah, the Panthers. I'm just kind of delaying for Julian to pull this up.
Yeah. The link. Well, the link you sent me was fucked up, Gabe. So I had to find something new.
Wow.
So here we go. All right, so here we go. Here's the black helmets. So they're not changing the uniform. So the NFL just did a rule, or just enacted a rule for the Thursday Night Football rush, which they've done before, where teams will have the color rush. I guess this is the helmet for that, and it's the black helmet.
It's pretty dope.
I think it's pretty sick.
Jojo, what's your initial thoughts? Like, are you feeling this, or you feel like?
I am. It's a sleek design. Doesn't look tacky. Straight to the point. That teal pops. And again, it doesn't look tacky. Like it's dope.
It looks clean. It looks clean. And I've been saying this for a while. Like, I think NFL needs to adapt soccer and European football, what they've been doing. Every year you swap out one of your jerseys for a new thing, and MLS does it as well. And so you keep it fresh. You're going to sell more jerseys. You're going to get cool themed, NBA starting to do it with the city themed jerseys. The
MLB starting to do it as well.
I think NFL starting to realize, obviously nobody's just going to buy a helmet, but I think they should. They have so much fucking money. Why not just have it redesigned? And Nike's doing it all. So every year come out with a different one. Like I said, for example, you keep one and then you swap out the other one. And then next season, that one that you kept, you swap that out. And then you have the one that you changed last season. You know what I mean? So you're constantly getting a fresh update of it. And that's what they do pretty much in all the other sports at this point. So I'm glad to see them doing it with the NFL. So this is the Panthers one. I think we all agree it's pretty sick. And then we have the Bengals one right here.
Ooh.
Joey Burrow. Everybody's saying this shit is icy, bro.
Bro, I don't know. It's giving me zebra vibes, not Bengal vibes, but it's still fire.
Oh, I didn't think. Is it zebras or Bengals?
I don't know. Cincinnati zebra.
Oh, wait. There's white tigers. There's white tigers.
That's dope.
There we go. The white tigers.
Cool. I like that.
Bengals or tigers essentially. So.
Hey, I don't know. I might have to cop a little Joe Burr white jersey out here.
Yeah, bro. This shit is nice. I really like this a lot. It's crazy how much a helmet can make a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's super clean. And I hope,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I hope they continue to do these, even selling little miniature helmets and stuff like that. That'd be sick. And constantly changing the jerseys. I think it could be a really cool, modernized. No, it's only the Panthers and the Bengals that they that showcase their new stuff. And I mean, the internet went wild with it. These are super clean. I love it.
Yeah, I like in general. I like the Bengals uniform. I think they have one of the slickest top 5 uniform sets. So I think it looks nice. I love white with anything, especially when it pops with that orange or the black, man.
Yeah, really and nice. I mean, think about the past couple of years. I mean, we've been getting a lot of teams changing uniforms and
just rebranding in itself too.
Yeah, obviously the Commanders. Judge, I don't think you were on that episode, but we discussed went over the Commanders uniform. It was pretty. Gabe was whatever about it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty clean. But yeah, I hope they continue to do this.
It's pretty simple to me. Yeah, they kept it real simple with that.
From what I remember, I think it was the red one and the red and black one I liked. The white one was whatever. White. I'm not a white jersey guy. I think white jerseys are plain. Some people love them. I'm not a white jersey guy. But anyways, yeah. So crazy ass news came out today. So the tickets were just open for NFL Germany. And
Germany. What game is that you talking about? What game is that?
Wait, London or Germany? What's going on?
Germany, the NFL Germany, the game that's getting played in Munich, Germany. I think Tampa Bay Buccaneers are. I don't know that people are. I can't think of who's playing in it. I actually have the article here, but essentially, when the tickets went live today, Seahawks Bucks.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, so when the tickets went live today, there was a queue of 770,000 people to get tickets. That is a city of people that were in line. It was insane. So like we already know like this is probably going to lead to like clearly more games in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, because it originally was reported 550, but now it's 770. And here's the article here, and it talks about obviously having Tom Brady there is a big selling point.
Yep.
Everybody wants to see Brady. All these people, I'm sure these people have never seen Brady before. Like I said, we're seeing more and more games. You got the Mexico game. You're gonna have a London game. Now you're gonna have the Germany game.
Wow. I think
And
that is amazing for NFL. They're branching out. We already know how popular London is. I had no idea they were playing in Germany. And, you know,
this
in
is the
other
first ever
countries,
game in Germany too.
I'm pretty sure they're aware of the NFL, right? They might not be the biggest fans, but again, you got a guy like Tom Brady who's already goated. That's like trying to see Michael Jordan finally come into your city or your state during that time. And yeah, maybe you're not a basketball fan, but you know who Michael Jordan is, and you're gonna want to see him play. So I'm guessing that's how they feel, even with Tom Brady coming back out of retirement, which built even more hype. That might be their last shot.
So
So I
Gabe just
think that's a dope
sent me
opportunity.
this with the most expensive and the cheapest tickets.
That's crazy.
You zoom in on him?
The cheapest.
Yeah.
I can't do it because
That's whatever. So it's zooming in the background, but you get it.
Yeah, but yeah. So for people who can't see, it's $608 each for the cheapest ticket, and then for the most expensive ticket, it's running up to $33,000, almost $34,000
each ticket. So you get a good ticket.
and in Munich, in Munich, Germany. So,
and you said that's the first game ever being played over there, right? First NFL game.
Yeah, and the crazy thing too is like there actually is like a little like NFL fan base over there.
Pretty sure there is.
Yeah, and also like recently, I think the past like year or two, they've actually started another European football league outside of the NFL, but there's like this other league that's like kind of branching out like that started over there, and it's actually growing. And they play during the summer times, and I've actually seen some highlights of it. It's not the greatest quality, but it's something, you're building a fan base, even though it's not affiliated with NFL. But, if they're able to grow, I'm sure the NFL will partner with them some way or somehow, like they're doing with the XFL. But yeah, I mean, they know that it's not sustainable. You can't continue to grow within the States. I think NFL has done what they can in the States. You need to branch out over to other countries that have strong purchasing powers, and like Europe. I mean, you see how big those crowds are in Spain and in England and in Germany
to it as well, man.
and
The passion for sport. Once they get into it, they go all out.
Yeah, and you see like they're doing the opposite. I mean, like we just talked about in the beginning of the show with Barcelona coming over here and whatnot, like kind of trading off fans. Like, all right, we're showing your sport, we show our sport. You know what I mean? So it's great. I feel bad for the players. It's going to be the longest flight for a game in the history of the NFL. So it's going to be like a 9-hour flight. So I don't know how they're continue to add games to travel unless they keep teams over there to run like 2 or 3 games. But then again,
give them that bye week. Give them that bye week afterwards because
it's also tough too because it's like, all right, are we going to keep on taking games from our fans, the fans that grew the sport in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to continue to do that? And it's tough because you can't do like what soccer does because you can play friendlies. It's not the end of the world to play a friendly. They do it all the time. It's not dangerous. You can't do a friendly American football match. Like,
no, not really.
Can't. It's without being.
I know they're trying to expand it, but I would love to see this like how what we discussed earlier with soccer. Like, I would love if they did preseason because I don't really care about preseason, but if they did preseason internationally, I think that would be fun, like an opportunity for new guys for the team during the season, mid-season. Like, it's pretty tough. Like, the travel is tough, the time change, the lag. Do they have the facilities? If I'm a player, if I'm in Germany, like I would love to go explore a little bit. Like on my off time, I would just be all about practice. Like I would love to go visit for a while. So, the more the NFL reaches out, it's going to be tough. Obviously, they already scheduled tons of games in London, and that's pretty much become regular now, like for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
I think what they could do would be interesting, like is doing another, like if they somehow partner with that league that's going on, that's growing over there, they somehow partner it, and you kind of add that element, like so maybe like preseason, they can do like like training camp or like OTAs or something out there. Instead of doing like friendlies, you could do trainings, and like they, each team is like affiliated with a team over there or something like that. I'm sure they're figuring something out. They're definitely getting something to get them over there more consistently. And I think if they can have some sort of
want, like would players be
but that's what I'm saying. So like
necessarily just fly over to Europe.
Well, that's the big problem with the games now. It's like a lot of players don't like doing it. And that's why I'm saying, like, try to maybe figure out ways so they don't have to do it. Because I'm sure a player I've never been a player. I would imagine that maybe doing a week over there, like doing like OTAs in the off season, these players can go out, they can have fun, sightsee with their family and stuff. It's off season still, but they just got to do their OTAs and drills. And then once your full season starts, then you're back home and you're actually like you're focused on the season. You know what I mean? That's why I think maybe the off season thing could work. But like somehow leveraging it with like the teams that are already over there, so you can have an actual like game. But there's at the end of the day, people want to see the actual teams play each other at full speed of the best players in the world. But we'll see. I did want to show you guys this. I thought this was really interesting. So apparently with this international thing, the NFL has assigned teams markets to where they can market the team. And here's the map right here. So right here, this is basically the world broken down to where which NFL teams can market where. So Canada, for the audio listeners, Canada has the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks can market there. Mexico, it is the Arizona Cardinals, Dallas Cowboys, Denver Broncos, Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Rams, Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers. Brazil, it's just the Miami Dolphins.
Just the Dolphins.
England, it's the Bears, Jaguars, Dolphins, Vikings, Jets, Niners. In Spain, you have the Dolphins, Bears. In Germany, you have the Panthers, Chiefs, Patriots, Bucks. China is just the Rams. Australia is just the Rams. So yeah, I saw this. I thought this was pretty interesting how they broke it down and like where people can market where. I tell you what, the Dolphins and the Rams have so much reach with the population in those countries and have no competition. Like having all of Brazil and then you're only competing with Spain with the Bears, and then Los Angeles Rams have Mexico, Australia, and China. Like that's an insane reach, especially for the Rams. So,
it's crazy to see. I don't see any New York teams. I don't see the Jets. I don't see.
Well, the Jets are in the UK. Oh, I see that over there. Jets are in UK.
No, Jets. Yeah.
Where's the Jets?
I don't.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Because they're, I see Chicago. I'm like, oh, Chicago Bears. That's a weird thing. Chicago Bears in Spain. I'm like, Chicago's like a second city, right? So the second major is like this New York City after New York.
Yeah.
So.
I see.
But no Giants, and the Giants are more successful, way more than the Jets. Why would it?
Also, a little bit surprised the Jets don't have other places, but yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised.
I'm honestly kind of surprised. What was that
for the Dolphins? I said I understand Brazil based off location for the Dolphins. So I can understand that market. But yeah, by themselves, zero competition over there. Okay. I mean.
I thought the same thing, but I guess because the region, like, Stephen Ross is probably like, "Yo, we need to fill these seats, bro. Let's get these fucking Brazilians in here."
Listen, I welcome all of you. Thank you, Brazil. I don't know Brazil. I don't know Portuguese, but I'll welcome anybody into Tuanon.
And the Spaniards
don't need another market. It doesn't matter how good or bad. It's New York City. I don't think they need another market.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, another surprising one is that the Jets only got UK, but then also America's team, the Cowboys, they only got Mexico. And obviously we know Cowboys are probably the biggest team in NFL. Like they probably have more fans than anybody else. So it's like, yeah, I mean, America's team only the Mexico, but then the Rams get like so much. Like, what made the Rams get
like? Also, LA is international. LA is international.
LA, man, LA, pretty known city worldwide. Probably bigger than just the team itself, bigger than the Cowboys, man. Just the city where they're at. I'm not thinking of the Rams over Cowboys. I'm thinking LA over Dallas.
Yeah, I will say this, man. Like, oh my God, I lost my fucking thought. I was gonna say, like, as wrong as the owner of the Rams did to the St. Louis, like how dirty they did them. Like, damn, from a business perspective, the Rams are making so much fucking more money than they would.
Man, it's all about the money, St. Louis. You gotta
like,
be.
Man, they did. I think quick side. I was like, I think the St. Louis won that lawsuit too, whatever it was.
I think that was the whole idea of bringing the team to LA. And guess what? They
were trying forever, bro,
and they won the Super Bowl. So it's only up from here now in LA, which is crazy. So
holy shit! Hold up. Speaking of LA, the Chargers aren't even on there.
Wow.
I'm looking at it again. The Chargers aren't even on there, but they're pushing their Rams.
It should be on Mexico.
No, they're not.
Mexico, at least.
I'm looking at it now.
When you win a Super Bowl. I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers are just not on there.
Because San Diego's right there on the border, isn't it? It's like so south of the border. I mean, I know they're down.
I'm with you. They're still the San Diego Chargers. I'm with you.
Yeah, for real. Anyways, we love football, but other sports are happening. Other things are going on. Obviously, it's summertime. It's hot as hell. If you go outside and you're in America, you're sweating because it's hot as hell all around the world. London's on fire, people. Summer League. Let's talk about the NBA Summer League because we just had the whole Summer League went on. All the rookie players show in. The Trailblazers win. Jojo, I don't know how much you've seen of the Summer League. Did you find anything interesting about the Summer League? Any takeaways? Honestly, any interesting players that you saw?
Well, the funniest thing about Portland winning was that Damian Lillard had no idea that they even won. Did you see that interview?
Yeah.
When they let him know that they won?
Yeah,
this guy's not even in tune with his own G League team. Like, yeah. I feel like I know this speaks volumes to me because it's like, what did you want to see the players that's developing that could potentially be moved up to your team? Yeah. And they won the championship. This guy had like no idea. So it's either he's being loyal to a fault, or at this point he might be, thinking of other places in his career.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Wasn't Damian Lillard? Wasn't he in the Drew League? He was playing the Drew League with LeBron, wasn't he?
DeMar DeRozan and LeBron was in there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think in the off season, these guys, obviously the Summer League, not really. It used to be the starters or the main players would come show up to the Summer League, but now it's a lot of the prospective guys, the guys who get drafted, maybe guys who get a second chance. So the Summer League, it's interesting to see your prospects of your whatever team. In general, like I don't think it holds weight. They try to do it this year. They try to give it like a ring. Obviously, they hand out the MVP for it every year. The ring looks pretty nice, but it's like Summer League to me is just like. It's something to see, something to watch. If you're not into baseball, if you're not into football, which is not happening right now.
Yeah.
NBA Summer League is pretty fun to watch, like to see young talent. Julian, I don't know if have you seen any or heard anything about Summer League? Was there anything interesting to you this year?
To be honest, I don't really care. Like I don't really care. I mean, Damian Lillard's probably just like he's probably so used to not getting help that he's like oh shit, they actually like. They want something to help me. Yeah, like they actually bringing in people that can help. Like, which I mean, hopefully that is the case. I mean, then again, we always see like these developmental teams of professional teams be so great, but then when it comes to the first team, it's terrible. I mean, we see it in the MLB, we see it in basketball, and obviously you see it in World Soccer. So it's like I don't know. We'll see it when the first team actually does something.
Yeah,
like see if it really reaps the benefits.
What I do want to see is your boy LiAngelo Ball finally make it to the NBA, man. I don't know how many times they're going to sign him to a summer league contract. He balls out, drops 15 points in 12 minutes, limited time, coming off the bench, makes 3 or 4 threes, has like 5 assists, grabbing 5 or 6 rebounds in limited time. And do you guys think it's the year he gets a shot, man? Maybe with the Hornets. team up with his brother or anywhere else that might need help?
I mean, there's always right. There's always a 14, 15 spot on a team. So, uh, honestly, I don't know really a lot about LiAngelo, about his game, but there always takes somebody. Like, it's not without the realm of possibility. Especially they like to do, especially with you already have family in there. They like to make people happy, right? The team's happy. Brothers play. I know the Holiday brothers were a thing for a little bit. So, if a player, I guess one of his brothers, LaMelo, probably demanded it, probably could make it to a team, but it's like whatever. I mean, it's just a guy. It's kind of a bench. Give him like 2 minutes.
Obviously, like he's not doing something in practice, so you can ball out all day in summer league. But if you ain't doing nothing in practice, or training camp, I guess maybe he's not showing out when he actually plays against like people who are actually playing in the NBA currently
at that talent level.
Yeah. We see college stars all the time, and then when they move up, they're nothing. So it's a different speed.
Speaking of speed, I was just going to do another terrible transition. I just want to talk about.
You're off one, man. Speaking of no speed. Speaking of no speed,
I have no speed of thought to do a transition. LA, what's going on in Los Angeles, man? We have our resident. He says he's a LeBron fan. And he's a Lakers fan, honestly. Recently, over the past weekend, obviously, there's a lot of trade rumors, talks about, Kyrie is going to be traded for Russell Westbrook to New York, whatever. But apparently, over the weekend, the big three of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook huddled in. Reports are they huddled in for a conversation that they are committed to each other. They are committed to the team. We're here. We're all Lakers. Purple and gold. We're here. Okay, championship. Magic.
We're here. We're here. Championship. Kobe. Shaq. Yellow and gold.
Karl Malone.
Like yellow and purple.
We're here for each other. I
Rings.
Love you,
money.
I love you.
Staples Center.
The news, I don't know if you want to pull it up, Julian, if you have the article. But apparently there's trouble. I don't know if there's trouble in LA. But obviously,
we all know. All right, Gabe. You're starting to sound like Stephen A. and all these other outlets.
Oh, wow!
Right? We all know there's trouble in LA, Gabe. Okay, all right. Okay. We know that. We know that. Now, here's my take on this. Honestly, I think that's a great thing. Got together, got on the call, and committed to each other because, first of all, communication is very key, especially at high stakes like this in the season they had. At least they all know. All right. No one's making moves. We're not going to try to branch out and escape from the situation, even though they really don't have a chance at this point. All these trade rumors, and we discussed in the last 2 episodes, like I said, rumors, they're not going to happen this season. So they are stuck with the team that they have right now. What I do want to do is shout out AD, put in work in the lab with the lethal shooter. I don't know if you guys see him on Instagram. He's a shooting coach. Coaches, a lot of NBA talent. He has these crazy videos of shooting and like ridiculous hoops and all this crazy stuff. So he's out there putting in that work. And my boy LeBron, who just went off in the Drew League, which I know no competition, whatever it is, came back, I think after 10 years, he made an appearance in the Drew League. Imagine working your day job and then having to play against LeBron James and having to guard him for the entire game and him dropping like 40 points on you. Just put that in perspective real quick. And then got to go home and then go back to your day job the next day knowing you got worked by LeBron James.
That's pretty crazy.
My biggest thing is why wasn't Carmelo Anthony involved in the huddle, in the call conversation? What?
Is he coming back?
He was in the big 3. I'm confused. Like the big 5, you throw Rondo in there.
You get Melo in that big 3, man.
Look, man, Melo put in that work.
He did his job.
Put in that work. That's all he's did.
That's all he did.
He did his job last season. All right, it was to be the savior.
So currently, Carmelo Anthony is an unrestricted free agent. So hopefully, we haven't seen.
Oh, that's why they.
So,
Carmelo Anthony, I want him to be like fucking Vince Carter and just play till he's like 45. Like just keep on going. He just like let the legend continue. Like maybe even wear a face mask. Like why not? Switch it up. Get a little change in branding.
The last news I think I found the most interesting this week in the NBA is DeAndre Ayton, obviously a restricted free agent this season, but there's a lot of trouble in with the organization with the Phoenix Suns. Apparently, they had some falling out. DeAndre Ayton sits in the last 5 minutes of an important game in the playoffs because apparently the owner has beef with DeAndre Ayton. Says you're not a max player. DeAndre's asked for a trade. I believe who did he get traded? He got an offer. He got an offer from some team. I cannot remember specifically, but
the Pacers.
The Pacers. Oh, that's right. That's correct. The Indiana Pacers gave him an offer, and the Suns matched the offer, and they re-signed DeAndre Ayton. Jojo, I don't know, how much you know the story. Obviously, you know more than me because you remember the names, all the specifics. But what do you think of DeAndre Ayton? Having trouble in Phoenix, but getting re-signed anyways. Like, do you think that the team actually wants him, or do you think that it's he's just a trading piece that they'll trade away eventually?
I mean, listen, it doesn't matter who you want. It's who you need. And they need that man. Because if you get rid of him,
what you want. It's about
exactly.
What you need.
Exactly. You got to say it just like that. No. On a serious note, if you're going to match that much money, then they realize what they're going to lose. Or I don't know, your boy Chris Paul worked some magic, with the owners. Someone spoke to him or anything. Because that was a lot of money. Lot of money. Again, Phoenix in the last 2 seasons were the best 2 seasons they've had in a very, very, very long time. And Ayton was a big part of that. And who's to say he's not only going to get better next season, right? They needed this playoff experience. They went to the finals, had no experience. Unfortunately, they lost. All right. Yes, they got dropped out of the playoffs last season. Again, it doesn't guarantee you to make it to the finals back-to-back years. Nothing's guaranteed. You're not the Warriors or you're not LeBron, all right? Like, shit happens. Now, all you got to do is look forward to next season. So if you're going to get rid of somebody who had a major impact on your team like that, what are you going to replace it with? Chris Paul's going to get a year older. You still have a prime Devin Booker, and that's kind of like your core big three there. And you were number 1 seed in the West predominantly the whole season. So it just didn't make sense to get rid of him. So, of course, they had to match that money.
I think it's just weird. It's like, why, if we're to believe the stories that are alleged, why would you piss off a player, make him so disgruntled that he's like, yo, get me out of here. I want to leave. Get me out of here. There's an opportunity for him to leave. And you're like, no, bring him. Let me bring him back. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I understand Ayton is a great player. I don't know if he's worth,
Bro,
he's a good solid player to have on the team, but I just don't get why would you piss him off, make him so now you're bringing back a player. He doesn't want to be in your team, but you brought him back anyways. He doesn't want to play. Like, he doesn't want to play for you. Obviously, he's going to be mad. So if I expect him to give lack of effort or like just be nonchalant, blase, on the court. So unless you're going to trade him away, why would you want to bring a player that doesn't want to work?
No, you know what happened? He saw that his only option was the Pacers. And he turned around when it was like, fuck that. And he came back and he's like, I'm going to go try to win a championship with Phoenix. That's what happened, Gabe. He's going to, all his issues, he's going to push it to the side for this season because he knew his only option was the Pacers. And he's like, hell no. And he turned around and went back and signed that contract.
Makes sense.
I doubt that because he's a restricted free. He's a restricted free agent. So the Phoenix Suns.
It's obviously deeper than that.
The Phoenix Suns had 48 hours to match the offer. So, and obviously he'd be going from the Phoenix Suns on the West to the Indiana Pacers on the East. So it wouldn't even be in direct competition. But the Phoenix Suns want him anyways. I just thought it was notable.
Yeah, but I don't think joining the Pacers makes the team already a contender. Like, it's not like a Giannis move. It's not a LeBron move. it's it's not a Curry move.
The Pacers are the only one that wanted him. It was going to pay him the money that he liked.
Yeah,
exactly. And then the Suns had the option. He's like, as much as I don't want to be here, I know how much better it would be for my career to stay here, and I'll still get the money that I want.
Getting the money, and you have the potential to win a title at the same damn time.
And things change, man. And things change. Relationship. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's rough now, but you know what? Like, let's try this again. Like, I don't know.
I mean, look, we'll see. Look what happened with Aaron Rodgers. I know it's a different sport, but
it's true.
We've seen what money can do. We've seen it.
And they rehashed it, and like now they're good now. So like,
and now he's got a weird tattoo on his arm. Look at that. Let's transition to other fun stuff. Obviously, summertime. We're halfway through the MLB season. We just had the All-Star weekend. A lot of showing out for certain teams. I'm talking specifically the Yankees, but. Let's talk about the All-Star Weekend in the MLB.
No, let's talk about how Gabe wore a Marlin shirt last week or last episode, and now he's coming over with a Yankee shirt. You're just as bad as JoJo.
Oh, listen.
First of all,
there's nothing wrong with that.
You're just as bad as JoJo.
This man is literally wearing 2 soccer teams on one scarf from two
different leagues. 2 different leagues.
Same different leagues.
Not the same.
All right,
2 different leagues don't play each other.
He has an American team league, which is the Yankees, and he has his national team league, which is the Marlins. Yeah. All right. So
look at JoJo trying to defend supporting like 10 franchises at once.
Listen, I grew up as a kid.
I got an NL East, an NL West. I got an AL East and an AL West.
I can root for the Marlins. Listen, Marlins. I'm a Miami kid. I grew up in Miami. I grew up with the Marlins. But
Marlins, Yankees in the World Series. Who you got?
It's happened already.
It already happened, baby.
What'd you do? What did you do? What'd you do, Gabe?
2003. I rooted for the Marlins. Okay. I thought it was impossible for them to win, but they fucking won. I was like, there's no way they can win. I was like, there's 0% chance they win any game in New York. There's no way they can go to New York and win a game. And they won. They won the whole goddamn series. Anyways, Josh Beckett ended up. We're not talking about the past. That's 2003. Okay, I was like 12 years old. Let's talk about.
So Marlins over Yankees, Gabe.
Let's talk about the MLB All-Star Weekend. Obviously, MLB Weekend, All-Star Weekend is a celebration of the season. Only half a season.
Only half a season.
Because maybe somebody
the All-Star for half a season.
Yeah. All-Stars for half a season. Obviously, Home Run Derby went on. JoJo, I don't know how much of the Home Run Derby did you actually see? Was there anybody you were rooting for?
I actually was not able to watch the Home Run Derby, but I had all my money on Pete Alonso. I thought he was going to three-peat it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you saw the last 2 derbies, there was no one that could hit with this guy. His swing is unreal. Everything was perfect. I'm not exaggerating because you could look at the clips from last season. Nobody was in this guy's range. So I literally thought this guy would be one of the first to three-peat in a very, very, very long time. But then it happened. You got your boy. Your boy won. Money Man that actually turned down that huge contract. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Gabe. So he's in the spot. He's in the spotlight right now, and that's dope. He could just add this to his accolades and winning the Home Run Derby. And a big season for him. This guy's on pace to break records at his age. He's having an amazing career so far.
Yeah, that's crazy. And one of the biggest things about winning accolades, like these guys, they get incentives, right? It helps them boost their how do you say, their prestige, their whatever. Like if you're invited to an All-Star weekend, you're invited to the Home Run Derby, you win the Home Run Derby. Like these are just accolades that you can help boost. Help you in the future when you try to negotiate contract. Obviously, talking about he turned down the contract. So, Juan Soto was a very exciting player in the league. It was fun. He's a fun player to root for. So, I would definitely like to see where he lands. I think it's going to be probably in a major team, big time. Maybe he lands on the Yankees. Anyways,
I don't know the money for him though to turn down that much money. I'm not sure where he'll end up, to be honest.
It's got to be a big team, bro. I'm thinking Boston, LA,
New York. You never know.
Cubbies.
You never know.
Cubbies.
let's talk about the All-Star game. I don't know, Jojo.
I did get to see that. Yes.
Okay. Well, what was your takeaway from the All-Star game? Was there any guys you were rooting for? A lot of New York teams showing out. That's why I'm wearing my New York shirt now. So a lot of New York players showed out. What was your interest going into the All-Star game, the actual All-Star game?
First off, just got to say, 6 New York Yankees made the All-Star game. Shout out to them. I believe it was 3 Marlins players.
Yeah.
Made it to the All-Star game.
Jazz Chisholm, Sandy Cooper.
The game ended 3-2. Solid game. 2 home runs, couple hits. I think about 10 hits total. Some good plays made on the field. I'm not sure if you saw that behind the back double play they turned.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. But real quick, let me shout out my Yankee players and their stats for last night, whether they hit a home run or struck out. So shout out Giancarlo Stanton, All-Star Game MVP. He can add that to his accolades because he'd win the home run derby previously. And that's a great sign for us Yankee fans. Everything's going well so far this season. We're the best team in the league. You got your boy Giancarlo winning All-Star MVP. You got Aaron Judge, who's potentially at his pace going to win MVP of the season. And we're just looking for that World Series. So back to the game, Giancarlo, 2-run home run, named All-Star MVP. Unfortunately, Aaron Judge went 0 for 2. He had 2 strikeouts. It's all good, though. We don't care about that. Jose Trevino, his first All-Star appearance catching. He had a single, so he had a hit. He finished 1 for 2. Your boy Nasty Nestor Cortez, you saw him on the mound. I don't know what he was doing. A little leg swinging, little.
He was doing a little kick,
He was doing a little swing. He struck out 2 batters over a scoreless inning. Good sign there. And then Clay Holmes, pitcher on the Yankees, recorded 2 outs. So, hey, man, they got in. Honestly, I feel like the Yankees held it down for the AL. They're the only ones doing stuff on the team. Like, literally.
I think Nestor had a great outing. Giancarlo obviously had a big hit, big home run. Wins the MVP. Obviously, we know Giancarlo, as long as he stays healthy, man, the guy's productive. I mean, that's the only thing is like,
listen, he hit a moonshot. The thing was a line drive, 25 miles an hour outside the park. Just a staple, Giancarlo Stanton home run. Like, it's ridiculous how much power this guy has.
Yeah, I want to talk about the biggest controversy probably going into it, right? Because obviously the All-Star game, they played in LA. LA was the home team. And there's big controversy going into the game, right? Because we're, this is a Miami-based show. We live in Miami, or we're from Miami. But Sandy Alcantara does not get the first nod. Obviously, if we pull up his stats, Sandy Alcantara is like doing a .05. His numbers are insane for this the first half of the season. But Clayton Kershaw gets to start over Sandy Alcantara. I don't know, Julian, how much you know about Clayton Kershaw, his year he had so far. Obviously, I think we talked earlier this year about early in the podcast about how Kershaw almost had a complete game, almost a complete game. Dave Roberts pulled him.
The ultimate no-hitter.
Yeah. So he got pulled twice so far. He almost had complete games. He got pulled early. But Clay Shaw gets a nod. I'll talk to JoJo. I'll spin it to JoJo. How do you feel about Clayton Kershaw getting the nod over Sandy Alcantara, even though Alcantara technically has better numbers? But they are playing in LA. I don't know. How do you feel about first starts, or who should be the starter when celebrating the All-Star game?
I mean, in all honesty, it should obviously be the best player at that moment with the best stats, right? Was it a surprise to fans outside of LA? Probably, yeah. It was a surprise because they probably didn't even put 2 and 2 together. But honestly, City of Stars, City of Angels, whatever you call LA, man,
City of Angels, City of Stars.
They're gonna give it to their guy, man. They're gonna give it to Kershaw. He's gonna start a mound for that team. That's their guy. They won a championship with him. 2 years ago? Like, they're gonna give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this all the time. It's all at the end of the day. It's you want it to be the best possible players, but it's always going to be they're always going to take name over anything as long as they're not playing absolutely abysmal. But if you have that big name, you're going to get selected or start or whatever it might be. I mean, it goes up, but yeah.
I mean, that's like in another sport, man. These guys, they let's say Kobe's out for injury, he's still getting all-star selections, or like that's Kobe. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
and there's always going to be another guy more deserving. Yeah, I mean,
so yeah, I feel like it happens. It's an all-star. Yeah, it might not be fair, but it's not like having favoritism over, like, let's say an MVP voting or something that's a little more crucial. Or
yeah, I will. Yeah, with those ones, it's not as so much about your name, but you know what I found out, and they just started promoting it. Is like right by my house. There's a billboard, and they're pushing All-Star Game 2023 at the NHL All-Star. So the Panthers are hosting the All-Star weekend this next year.
That should be fun.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, they're hosting the All-Star game this year. That's pretty sick. Or next year.
My question for that is real quick, not to get off topic. Do you think majority of the events are going to be held over here in Miami leading up to the All-Star weekend, or they're going to have it all the way up there in Sunrise?
I don't know. I feel like probably Fort Lauderdale. I think the Panthers are more Fort Lauderdale's team than it is Miami's team.
For sure.
Most of the I would say 95% of the fans there live in Broward County, our Fort Lauderdale area. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some Miami people. I worked with people in Miami that were Panthers fans, like big Panthers fans. But I mean, when you walk around here in Broward, like you see a lot of Panthers shit. Like it's a more of a bigger deal. It's kind of their team. So I would imagine that they would do it a lot of the events and stuff in the convention center here up there.
Because that drive is a haul. Like it's if you think about like whoever the season ticket holders are, like it's going to be somebody around the residential area. Like I'm sure there are Miami fans, of course, because obviously they used to play
same region
downtown. Yeah, so. But it's just kind of all. It's hard as hell to get to the games. I love to go to Panther games, especially when it's playing against a good team. Especially now that they're actually getting pretty good. These last couple of years have been more promising. So
let's be real. Hispanics are hockey fans, so let's be real.
Yeah, but if you grew up in the '90s, kind of like I did, the Panthers were exciting. It was a fun time to watch. So,
Gabe, that was damn near 30 years ago, bro.
I am 45 years old, sir. I'm 45. Okay?
That's like you saying that the UM is still a powerhouse in college football.
They are. Wait till they get to the SEC. Lastly, I just want to end because we're talking about the MLB All-Star Weekend. I just want to talk about the GOAT's probably on his last leg, his last season, one last dance. Albert Pujols. Jojo, we're just gonna give obviously he showed out this All-Star Weekend in the home run derby. I just want to give you a chance to talk about Pujols. What do you think of his overall career? How do you think about this season? Him landing back with the Angels, or excuse me, back with the Cardinals. Back with the Cardinals for his last season. One last dance. Any thoughts on Albert Pujols for the rest of the season?
I mean, he's going to be a living legend, man, of what he's brought to the game. Just his power, his consistency, his love, his passion. And it's dope, man. I feel like that was home for him. I always found it weird for him leaving the Cardinals after he won a championship with them. I think we all felt weird after that. Went to LA, teamed up with Trout and crew. And nothing really happened in that organization. There were really no.
Just so weird.
Yeah,
so weird. They had so much talent at one point, and they just never did anything with it.
Yeah, and now they have greatest two-way player since Babe Ruth on their team, with Shohei Ohtani. But again, we're not talking about that. I love the fact that he found his way back. His career milestones, Mr. 3,000 on that 3,000 hits. He's climbed up his way in the home run leaderboard as well, and think it's the perfect spot. And I love they gave him the opportunity to play in his last All-Star game too. I saw him chilling with Trout. I don't know what they were talking about. Probably how they never did anything in the postseason, but no. But overall, he had a great career. I don't know how you feel about that, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, so many All-Star appearances, just 3-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 2 World Series, Silver Slugger 6 times, batting title, ML Player of the Year. I mean, the guy has a Hall of Fame career. I like the fact that he gets to
won everything imaginable
with the Cardinals. He's been playing since 2001. Okay, folks.
Yep.
I don't know if you know about 2001, what was going on around that time, but the guy is old. The guy's been around for a long time. You know, he's got a lot of big contract. He earned a lot of money. Especially
21 years.
21 years. I mean, that's a lot. And I think I think it's great to see him celebrated, because I don't know if there's a lot of players like they're going kind of like him. Like, the only thing I can think of the next player is for me like a Miguel Cabrera, maybe kind of a young star with tons of accolades that'll probably end up in the Hall of Fame. That's the only equivalent, but I don't see a lot of. I don't even know who is the next, like who's underneath him, like who's the next guy after that. So I think it's great that
to retire, like big name to retire.
Yeah, like a big name player that kind of lasted, through the many years. Baseball is good for lasting, for 15, 20 years, but I can't think of another.
I can't think of the top of my head at the moment.
Listen, all I'm seeing is fucking the kids of all the players I used to watch are now getting signed. Yep. You know what I mean? Matt Holliday Jr., fucking Jeff Conine's kid is getting signed.
Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. All the juniors are coming out. So I'm like, yo, I'm washed. I am washed as a baseball fan. Shout out to Albert Pujols, man. I mean, I hope it ends as beautifully as I don't know, all the other players. I'm thinking of
if it's as graceful as Derek Jeter's last season. That was amazing.
His last, yeah. Joe? By the way, JoJo, have you been? Were you interested at all in his docu-series, the 8-part?
I haven't had a chance to watch it. Didn't it drop like 2 days ago?
Are you interested? Are you interested in it? Because I think they released it after the All-Star game. They released an episode, I believe. But are you interested in the Derek Jeter story to hear about?
Hell yeah. That's not even a question.
I will not forgive what he did to the Miami Marlins. I will not forgive it. I will not support him.
Nah. This documentary is a must. This man deserves his flowers for what he put on in New York. Those 5 championships, playing with the core.
Yeah, but I'm worried about what he did in Miami, and what he did was make it worse.
He didn't make it worse.
Wow. They're not going to show that in documentary. They're not going to show that in documentary.
Show his business.
You can't blame him for leaving, man. He saw like. This was
I wanted him. I'm glad he left. That's what I'm saying. This man had no business experience. He played baseball for 20 years, and he thinks he can come and manage a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Listen, better than the previous owner who just owns a ton of property.
But that's not the bar. That's not the bar.
Better than the previous owner.
That's not the bar.
Anyways. So I think that pretty much concludes it for the All-Star Weekend. Obviously, it's the halfway point of baseball season, so we'll be watching the rest of the season going forward. The Yankees should be set for a playoff run going forward, but we will be having that. More news coming from baseball, MLB.
The Marlins
NFL.
are battling. They're battling. They're really close to the wild card.
So we got a couple, three All-Stars.
5 games behind.
They should be battling for a playoff spot, but we'll have more news of that. More baseball, more NFL, more soccer, more UFC. All the real fans, any sport that real fans follow, we follow it here. Julian, tell the people where they can find Real Fans Podcast.
Anywhere you get your podcast. We're on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace, LinkedIn, Tumblr, Pornhub, We on everywhere.
Sports Hub.
Oh my God.
Sports Hub.
Sports Hub. There we go. So we appreciate all the downloads, all the views. We're trying to up our game, our video game. Julian's working hard. Joe's working hard on Instagram. I'm trying to work hard on Twitter. So if y'all appreciate us, we appreciate the subscriptions, all the follows. We thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. We'll be here. Peace.